Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bad Movie Brothers. I'm Eric.
Hey, everybody, I'm Chad.
And this time we watched Watchers.
Watchers. I think I read this book.
What?
Way back.
What?
Yes. Yes, it was all very familiar.
First off, there's a book?
Yeah, it's a Dean Koontz book.
It is? I missed that.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you say that, I believe it. Because if I had to sum this movie up in a word, it would be complicated.
Very complicated.
I was watching the movie. I was watching the movie at home. My wife was around, and I thought to myself, if she comes in here and asks me what this movie's about, she does not want me to go on and on. But I don't know how to sum up this movie. I guess
About a dog.
Yeah, I guess it's a movie about Corey Haim finds a super smart science dog that's on the run from the government.
Hey, come on, out of my truck. Where did you come from? Now what are you doing?
So the deal is that the dog is part of a government experiment to create a weapon.
Yes.
And the dog is paired with another creature called an OXCOM.
Yep.
And the deal is that you would send the dog into an area where there was, I don't know, somebody you wanted to kill or bad soldiers or whatever. They would hang out with the dog, but then the whole time the dog is psychically linked to the OXCOM. So then when the dog's kind of done reconnaissance for the OXCOM,
Yep.
so then it can come in there and kill everybody.
Basically, the idea is, when the dog's basically scouting, nobody's going to be conscious of the dog scouting, so it can just get through enemy lines, no problem.
It's kind of like the beginning of The Thing, if the dog in The Thing wasn't also the Thing. If the dog had to tag team in another creature.
And they escaped the lab due to some enormous explosion at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out why that happened? No.
I mean, I think we can make some guesses based on revelations later in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, so they escape, and we also then find out, and there is maybe more exposition in this movie, pound for pound, than any other movie I've ever seen in my life.
The dog still transmitting?
Yes.
Are the OXCOM and the dog still telepathically linked?
On a biofrequency that only the OXCOM can receive.
We called it the Francis Project. St. Francis of Assisi was a monk who had an affinity with animals. He could communicate with them. And we were developing new animals. OXCOM 18, outside experimental combat mammal. There were 7, now there's only 1.
And all of the exposition is delivered by the great Michael Ironside, who I was so excited to find out Michael Ironside is in this movie. And while they have him saying the dumbest made-up nonsense you have ever heard in your life, the man sells it. He does. That guy could make a grocery list in tense. He knows what he's doing.
He's a star.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine? He's one of those guys who I can't believe isn't still in movies all the time. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, it seems like Starship Troopers, and then that was it. And I'm like, did you see Starship Troopers? He owns that movie. So it's through Michael Ironside, and they really parcel out the information, that we find out that this is the last OXCOM. It's like, I don't know, number 8 or some nonsense like that.
7 or 8, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the OXCOMs keep going crazy, and they have to get put down. And this OXCOM is no different. And what happens is the OXCOMs hate the dogs.
But there's one big problem. The OXCOMs keep killing the dogs.
There are defects. We'll solve them on the next go-round.
Yep.
So now that they're both free, the OXCOM is going to kill anything that gets in between it and the dog because it wants to kill the dog.
Right.
And Michael Ironside and his partner have been sent to exterminate the OXCOM because you can't have that thing running around.
Because it's going to go around and tear people's eyes out.
Yeah! That's its MO.
And that's it.
Is it?
That's all it wants to do.
Well, if that's not it, it also kills them.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, its serial killer signature is that it takes their eyes.
I don't think this was a grizzly, Sheriff. This thing has Sasquatch written all over it.
Sasquatch?
You know, the abominable snowman.
Porter, when are you gonna grow up? There ain't no tooth fairy, there ain't no Santa Claus, and there ain't no Sasquatch.
Well, why would a grizzly rip a man's eyes out?
And then the super smart science dog finds and befriends Corey Haim. So it's Corey Haim and this dog on the run from the OXCOM and Michael Ironside.
Yeah, and Corey Haim wants nothing to do with the dog until he feeds it a candy bar, and then that's like, oh man, you're smart, you ate a candy bar.
What are you, a circus dog?
Because we meet Corey Haim as he goes to a barn to make out with his girlfriend.
Yep.
She gets spooked by her dad, and he takes off in I guess a truck that he stole from his mom.
Correct.
And the OXCOM shows up and kills the dad.
Tears out his eyes.
Right. And the OXCOM for most of the movie is all POV shots and an occasional like fuzzy claw. And so the dog then gets in the back of Corey Haim's pickup. And then, Chad, you're absolutely right. He starts talking to the dog. This is almost to me, you know about Save the Cat. This is almost the opposite of Save the Cat moment because Corey Haim's praising this dog for eating the candy bar. Don't give a dog chocolate, Corey Haim.
Nope, can't do it. The dog should have known not to do that.
Right. They're both dumb.
Yeah.
And Corey Haim figures out pretty quickly that the dog can't talk, but he can understand everything that you're saying.
It's almost like he understands everything we're saying.
He does understand everything we're saying. Right, for yes, bark once, and for no, bark twice. Do you understand? See?
Okay, if you're so smart, let's see. Tell me, which one is a deer?
And he can spell a little bit.
Well, it depends on which part of the movie it is. Because there's an amazing scene where the dog types on a computer with a pencil.
Yep.
And that typing is real, like, comic strip dog typing.
Jump.
Yep.
Which is pretty great. But then later in the movie, they play Scrabble.
They do.
And the dog lays down a word. Which, don't even get me started. They show you that Scrabble board. It's pretty intricate. How the dog is moving the pieces around on the board, I don't know.
Nope.
But he's doing it. And at one point, Corey Haim, in maybe the most insane part of a pretty crazy movie, the kid says to the dog, "That's not a word."
What, DZ? No, that's not a word. It is not. Oh, what, you looked it up?
And he cheated. He abbreviated a word.
He didn't think that kid was going to call his bluff.
No.
So the movie tends to move in between Corey Haim and the dog shenanigans and scenes of Michael Ironside either following people or explaining things to people, and then scenes of the OXCOM going nuts and killing people.
Yeah. At one point, his partner asks him how smart the OXCOM is. And his response is, well, how smart is a crazy person?
How smart is this thing?
How smart's a crazy person?
I don't know, Michael. How smart is Crazy
And
Bird?
that's why you need Michael Ironside. There is no other actor on the planet that can deliver the line, because he says it as if it's the most profound thing you've ever heard.
Right.
And I think if you experience that in real life, you'd go, oh. And then he'd walk away, and then he'd go, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a second.
What are you talking? Michael, get back here. What are you talking about? Goodness gracious. And, some of the kills are pretty good.
Yeah.
He throws a lady police officer into a fuse box, and she gets electrocuted.
She went down bad.
He kills an Eastern European motel owner at one point.
Pulled her right through the window.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty wild. But that said, I mean, this is a movie that very much feels like two different movies. There's the Corey Haim and the dog movie,
Right.
And then there's the OXCOM movie. And I think I liked this movie for the most part. And I guess I kind of liked both halves, but I was much more interested in the Corey Haim and the dog movie. And
Yeah,
that
big Marley and Me guy.
Yeah, that's right. But there's the kid and the super smart dog. That's like a Disney Saturday afternoon movie all day long.
Yep.
And you could get a lot of mileage out of doing a Flight of the Navigator, Project X type movie there. That they then paired it with a hyper-violent monster movie is pretty wild.
Well, and the half of the movie that's the dog, that dog is doing so many intricate things. It had to have been a pain in the butt to film this movie with that dog.
How do you train a dog to hold a pencil in its mouth and type? Now, I'm sure that in real life, the dog wasn't just typing gibberish, but that he's doing it at all. It's pretty impressive. According to the credits, that's Sandy the dog.
Good.
Playing
Furface.
Furface.
All right, Furface. There's a pack of hot dogs in the refrigerator, and if you go down there and you get them, you can have one. Watch, come on. It's true.
Oh my goodness. It is kind of. It's just, this is a movie. There's a lot of moments in this movie. There's a pretty good bike chase sequence
with the bullies. Another movie with bullies in it.
But are they bullies? They seem like
they're
they're
friends and bullies.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't leave me behind like that.
You're gonna hang with us. You gotta learn to keep up.
Hey, it's getting late.
So
maybe we should go.
No, maybe you should go. It's not like we wouldn't be able to catch up to you.
But they make fun of the heavier kid the whole time.
Right, but that's just like the Goonies.
Yep.
Which, wait, is Corey Haim in the Goonies?
No.
Okay. The other one.
Yeah.
Okay. Corey's. Aren't they both in it?
I don't think Corey Haim's in it.
Okay. Anyhow. That's a pretty good sequence. It's pretty. Now let me ask you this: who's the Australian guy?
My feet are killing me.
Oh, yeah. I'll massage your feet.
Oh, no, that's okay.
No, I don't mind, really.
No, you don't have to do this.
No, really, I don't mind. You know, the nerves from all over your body terminate in the soles of your feet. Yeah, this here's your spleen. This is your liver. Over here's your kidneys.
Yeah, why was he Australian? Why? I guess he's trying to be the mom's boyfriend, but...
Because it's not Corey Haim's dad, right?
Right, no.
But and then because Corey Haim at one point, he takes the dog home, mom meets the dog. They're both wow, smart dog.
Yeah.
And then at one point, Corey Haim goes back home, and there's just this Australian guy there. And is he her boyfriend? Is he just a handyman because he's like installed a washing machine?
Hello.
Hi, is Mrs. Cornell here, please?
What, you mean Nora? No, she's not here. Ted Hockney. I'm taking care of her appliances, if you know what I mean, mate.
But he's not good at that.
No, he's not. He messes up the washing machine. And for his sins, the OXCOM comes in and rips his head off.
That's right. Took him down.
So weird.
Now, what's interesting is you go through 2/3 of the movie thinking, you got your OXCOM monster and you got your dog. But no, there's another monster.
There is a twist.
A twist.
Now, I thought early in the movie, what I thought was going on was that Michael Ironside was the OXCOM.
Ah, I see.
I thought that occasionally he was like sneaking off and like werewolfing into this thing. Or that maybe the OXCOM could change shape, whatever.
Yeah. I had remembered from the book when he said the line that there was other experiments or something. I had remembered, later on, he turns out to be the experiment. I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember I told you there were 3 biological experiments at Panodyne. The OXCOM, the dog, and their best animal. It's me, Cliff. I'm the 3rd experiment.
Michael Ironside has a whole scene. Well, I think the first thing we see is he gives a lengthy exposition dump to the sheriff.
Yep.
And then for no reason, he kills the sheriff and pulls his eyes out.
Right, yeah, to frame the OXCOM.
Oh, that's why he does it?
Yeah, so it makes it look like it's the OXCOM and not somebody else.
Well, okay, here are several questions.
All right.
Since you've read the book, since you're of the two of us the authority on Watchers. Why? Okay. So initially that's part of why I thought he was the OXCOM. I thought he was just doing it. So that's number one. Number two, why did he tell the sheriff all that stuff if he was just going to kill him?
He didn't know he was going to kill him until the end there.
Well, then what's...
I think the sheriff started figuring out that Michael Ironside was bad.
Okay. And then are you...
Because he was holding the girl.
Okay. Right, because he has kidnapped Corey Haim's girlfriend and is keeping her drugged in a motel room.
Right.
Are you sure, though, that he doesn't steal the eyes because he, like the OXCOM, can't help himself but rip people's eyes out?
No, he can't. So they didn't get into the because let me ask you this. In your opinion, why is the movie called Watchers?
Because the OXCOM watches things through the dog's eyes?
No, so in the book...
it's not that bad a guess!
No, in the book it gets into like the feelings and of the OXCOM, and they're always upset that they have these scientists watching them all the time, and they want to kill the Watchers. They only know they don't have the brain chemistry to understand that they're scientists or whatever. These people are always watching me. And so he wants to kill the Watchers.
But also the dog.
I'm not sure that's in the book.
Have you read a lot of Dean Koontz?
No, just a couple.
Okay. But coincidentally, this Dean Koontz. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never read a Dean Koontz. Maybe I found the first one that I should read.
There you go.
Oh my God. All right. So the titular Watchers are not even in this movie, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Wild. So all of this lunacy builds to Corey Haim hanging out. He takes Furface to his cabin to lay low, which I was immediately like, Corey Haim, you can't take him to your cabin. You have to go off the grid. Come on. But as we've discussed,
took him
he's
to
stupid.
His hunting cabin.
Right. But
he's a bad hunter.
Right. This is after. I almost forgot. There's a pretty spectacular sequence where the OXCOM, after it rips the head off the Australian guy, it chases Corey Haim, his mom, and Furface through their house. And they end up having to jump from the roof of their house to another roof. In what's a pretty good looking sequence, some pretty good stunts. Furface tries to jump. The mom makes the jump in heels.
Yes.
Because she's wearing these little ankle boots all movie. Furface, a dog who is designed for this sort of thing, misses, hits the ground.
He got hit in midair by the thing.
Is that what happened? He didn't just miss?
No, he got hit.
Okay, well, whatever. Then Corey Haim and Mom take him to a veterinarian's office that is run by the general from Twin Peaks.
Narc.
Yeah, he calls in for the reward, and they're on the run again. But anyway, so Corey Haim takes the dog to the hunting cabin, and he and Furface decide that this is going to be where they make their last stand against the OXCOM. And Corey Haim goes Rambo, straps himself up with like a knife, sets a bunch of jungle booby traps.
He's making pipe bombs.
Where'd this kid come from? This kid who's been an ineffectual doofus the whole movie is suddenly a Green Beret expert in guerrilla warfare.
That's right.
They're going to need Richard Crenna to come in and talk him down. Then now it's showdown time between Corey Haim and first Michael Ironside.
Yep.
Who they take Michael Ironside out pretty quick.
Yeah, a little too quick.
And then it's OXCOM fighting time. That's pretty good. The dog gets involved.
Yep.
And then they light the OXCOM on fire, and that's pretty much the movie.
And then the whole cabin catches on fire.
Right.
And they just drive away from that. A huge forest fire is about to break out, and they're just driving away.
I mean, not the hot button issue then that it is today.
Yeah, right.
And can you imagine the insurance claim?
My God.
I want to watch that movie, The Insurance Adjuster, who's like, now what's an OXCOM?
He's got to do that like in 30 places.
OXCOM, by the way, stands for Outside Experimental Combat Mammal.
Perfect.
OXCOM. Dean Koontz, you done it again.
He's too good.
That's for sure. Yeah, Watchers. I don't know. I liked it, I think.
It was all right.
There are apparently 5 of these. And they were making this movie's from 1988. I think they made like Watcher 5 in like 2000. I would imagine this was the only one that ever came close to a movie theater.
Sure. Because you had Corey Haim.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where this movie falls in Corey Haim. Because it seems like a very weird movie to put Corey Haim in.
Yes.
Like Michael Ironside, yeah, absolutely. Makes all the sense in the world that Michael Ironside is in this movie. Corey Haim, a little surprising. And I would imagine when you get to Watchers 2, then it's like Jeffrey Combs or something like that. Like, one step down the horror movie ladder.
That's the kid from Indiana Jones when he's a kid, Indiana Jones.
River Phoenix?
Yes, there you go.
So it's Jeffrey Combs and River Phoenix. And
yeah.
I'd watch the hell out of that. Absolutely. Well, Chad, where do you think we ought to put Watchers on our list?
I don't think it's top, but it's like maybe second half of the top half, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's probably not top 10.
No.
I'm looking at the list. Number 14 is Frauds. It's probably not quite Frauds.
No.
But it's not far away from Frauds. We go from Frauds down to Happy Together, to Dolly Dearest, to 1201, to The Punisher, to Primo Baby.
I might put it right ahead of Primo Baby.
I would agree with that. That makes it the 20th movie. Almost pretty close to the middle, actually.
Right, yeah.
Which, in my opinion, means we must be doing something right, because although I'm looking at the list right now, there are not a lot of movies that are like truly like a middling movie. Like, it goes from a movie we liked all right to absolute garbage pretty quick.
Because that's the way it's got to be.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next time with another Bad Movie.
Goodbye.